Well, the campaign is going great. I had a wonderful opportunity to come out to Pahrump and to come to the men's breakfast this morning and to talk about the political issues that were important to them and the economic issues that are important to them. And I just had a wonderful experience with these great Americans and great Nevadans out here in Pahrump.
This breakfast held at the Pahrump Nugget is kind of lively, right?
Oh, it's very lively. You better have your A game. And you have a lot of people asking questions, a lot of people who know a lot about various issues and challenges that are important to them. And it was a great opportunity for me to be able to respond to them and interact with them. But they are very lively, they're very smart, and they know what they're talking about.
This is part of what they call the rurals. Tell me what you think about the importance of the rurals and how it affects even your campaign, much less the economy, the well-being of Nevada.
Well, first and foremost, I love the people who populate rural Nevada. And we've got a lot of rural Nevada, and one of the great things about running for statewide office is you get to see all of this state. And those who populate rural Nevada are wonderful Nevadans, great Americans. They've got great values, and they have some concerns that are different than maybe other parts of the state. And so the only way that you can really understand their concerns and their issues is to get out here and to talk to them and to dig down deep and to understand what they want you to focus on in your public service, because that's really what it's about. We got to focus on the individual issues and the subjects that are important to people here in the rurals.
Why did you decide to run for lieutenant governor?
Well, I thought it was very important that we have somebody in the executive branch of government who can protect Nevada's constitutional rights, who can promote economic development and job creation, somebody who could be a very close partner with the governor and do all that we can to move forward Nevada from a jobs creation aspect, from an economic development aspect, and ensuring that Nevada's constitutional rights are protected. And I've got experience in all those areas. As you know, I was appointed by the governor to represent the state of Nevada in the constitutional challenge to the Affordable Care Act. And that was a major constitutional challenge by 27 states, including the state of Nevada. And it was my privilege to represent the citizens of the state of Nevada, and I want to continue to fight for Nevadans.
Let's talk about some upcoming things that might be a concern to Nevadans. We are talking about the margin tax.
Right. There will be a question on the ballot in November of 2014 as to whether Nevada should impose a 2% tax on any business that has revenues of $1 million or more. Now, this is going to be pitched as something that's going to help education, something that's going to be used to fund education. But the challenge is that there's nothing actually in the law itself that would require this money to be used for education. And even beyond that, this is going to be a complete disaster for the state of Nevada. This is going to be a jobs killer. It's going to be an economy killer. We have businesses who have already told us. I've spoken to business owners in both North Nevada, Northern Nevada, and Southern Nevada, as well as throughout the rurals, that if this tax passes, that they're going to leave the state. They're going to take the jobs with them. They're going to take the economic opportunities with them. So this will be an absolute disaster. If this tax passes, Nevada will have the 4th highest corporate income tax in the entire United States. 90% of the businesses in this state would be better off from a tax perspective in California. This is going to be an absolute job and economy killer, and we've got to do everything we can to defeat it.
Is that something that Nevada kind of advertises ourselves for to businesses, is to come here because of the taxes are so low?
That's right. And if the margins tax passes, we will never be again a business-friendly or a tax-friendly state. If the margins tax passes, for example, no matter how disastrous it is, the legislature can't do anything for 3 years. If the margins tax passes, we will have businesses that will leave the state of Nevada. They won't be coming here by any stretch. They're going to be leaving the state of Nevada because there are other states that are much more business-friendly and much more tax-friendly if this tax passes. And so we're going to lose a lot of our advantages that we sell and that we promote the state of Nevada to other businesses coming here from other states.
Some of the concerns that you might have had brought up during this men's breakfast today that you might be looking into or that you would like to let the viewers know about?
Well, I think that the federal government is a real challenge for rural Nevada. As I go throughout the state, I hear over and over again that the challenges aren't coming from Carson City. There can be some challenges coming from Carson City, but the real challenge is the federal government and the overreaching federal government. You see that through the Affordable Care Act. You see that through the federal lands ownership by the federal government. You see that through environmental impositions with just unreasonable positions that the federal government takes. And so I think that the fight for Nevada in many ways is going to be a fight as to whether or not we're going to continue to have our sovereignty as a state and whether or not we're going to be able to push back effectively against this out-of-control federal government, and we're going to be able to protect our constitutional rights. And that's what I've done throughout my history as a constitutional lawyer. That's what I've done in the state Senate, and I want to continue to do that for Nevada.
People can find out more about your campaign and get involved. I'm sure that you have your own website.
I sure do. It's www.hutch4nevada.com. Hutch4nevada.com. And I'd love to be a resource for any questions or for any issues that anybody here in Nye County or throughout the state may have.